understand that you know for being strong and like and lifting stuff like that.
Okay.
Do you need your man to be stronger than you?
I guess not.
Just tell me the truth.
You guys not?
No.
No. Let's keep it a buck. Keep it 100. Like,
I mean, I feel like probably most men would probably be stronger than me relatively quickly, just given like biology.
okay.
But it's not like a necessity.
You serious?
That's it. What's your squat max?
286.
286. So let's say his max was 250 currently. Is that a turn off?
I say get it up, bucko.
Okay, so until he gets it up, it's not happening.
I guess. Type shit.
So now the truth comes out, doesn't it?
Lean beef patty proves that the body game is real. I've talked about it time and time again, that these women that care about their health and fitness, they're not checking for guys that aren't in the gym. So even when I did past interviews and talked to guys and they say, oh, I've dated women and I was fat, but I said, look at the quality of these women. Because the women like Lean Beef Patty that are in the gym, they care about their health, you don't even exist to them. I don't think she realizes how lousy the average 30-year-old is when it comes to his physicality. When we look at the average 30-year-old, we'll take 30 because Lean Beef Patty's 28. So let's say she dates guys around 30. I don't know her relationship status, but let's just say she dates guys in their early 30s, 30 years old. You look at the average 30-year-old, he's 29% body fat. He's 200 pounds. He doesn't work out, and if he does work out, it's very inconsistently. Every blue moon, he might work out with one of his friends. You think the average 30-year-old man is squatting, 286? I promise you he's not. You take the average 30-year-old man, he's going to look sloppy and probably shaky squatting 135. So the average man, he's definitely very far from squatting 286. Now, I get what she's saying. She's like, if a guy hits the gym for a long time, 286, he's probably going to be stronger than me eventually. That is true. Men have more of a capacity to build muscle and strength. Now, women and men, the difference isn't as big when it comes to lower body, but upper body is a pretty significant difference. When you don't have your physique together, when you're not in the gym, the women that work out, you don't even exist to them. You don't even show up on their radar. So she wanted to be politically correct at first and say, oh no, I don't need a man that's super strong. And he's like, keep it a buck. Let's keep it real. And then she's like, how much do you squat? 286. So if you squat 250, that's good for you. Oh no, he's gonna have to get it up. When you see these interviews, whether I'm doing them, whether shout out to ISW, when you see these interviews, you have to read between the lines. A lot of women are going to say stuff that's politically correct. It sounds good. But when push comes to shove, that's not the reality. Yeah, that's not the reality at all. Especially when they're influencers, they trying to protect their image. They don't want to look like a bad person. And we know that most people out here are coping. They don't accept reality. So they're going to give you comforting lies. But I promise you, when you're dealing with women in the gym, these women want someone on their level or above it. They're not checking for you if you're below their physicality. She has a hard time respecting you. And I would say these are the best of the best women. Now, the gym culture has changed a little bit. Some of these women, they just go to the gym for attention. You see a lot of women, they trying to flaunt their bodies online nowadays. But you do have some women that are truly about their health and fitness. They truly just care about eating good and being good. These are the best women when it comes to long term. They're going to hold up very well. We talk about the man hits the wall and the woman hits the wall. A lot of these people hit the wall a lot harder and a lot sooner than they have to because they don't prioritize their health. You dating a girl and she's in her early 20s. You see all her habits and she has a whole bunch of negative habits. She might vape, she might smoke, she doesn't work out. She doesn't do any type of cardio. She's not going to look good in 10 years. Some of these women, they're not going to look good in 5 years. I remember I've seen girls back in high school that I thought were bad. You see them 5 years, 6 years later, and you're like, what happened to her? Face all puffy, body just blew up, big back, beluga back well. Like, damn, how she gained 100 pounds in 5 years? That's a hell of a trick. So if you want the best of the best women, if you want the women that prioritize their health, if you want the women that are in the gym, that are going to hold up, they're going to look the best long term, you got to be in the gym. It's not an option. It's not an option at all because you're invisible if you're not in the gym. You're invisible if you're not on par with their fitness or above it. But even like times where I did like interviews in the past, I think about Brian. And he's like, are you talking about all women? All women, they don't care about your physical health and they don't all care about you being in shape and having a good body. And it's like, yeah, if you want the average big back beluga back, well, she doesn't care if you're in shape because she's not in shape. She would prefer you not to be in shape. So if she has low standards, she wants you to have low standards because y'all align. Y'all align with each other. But if you want the woman that's going to look good long term, you have to be in shape. It's a non-negotiable. It's not an option. I think this video made it very clear that she's not even aware of like the average 30-year-old man. Now, I think that there's a lot of truth in she like it wouldn't take him that long to get to 286. Like if you have a good regimen, you know, you got a good routine, you got decent genetics, you should be able to hit 286 fairly quick. Maybe it'd take a couple years, but the average man, he's not close to that at all. Yeah, he's not close to that at all. And even when you look at a lot of dudes that go to the gym, a lot of dudes ain't hitting legs. And if they do hit legs, they're not hitting it seriously. And that was me for a long time. For a long time, I didn't take leg day serious. I had torn my hamstring in the past. So it's like I would just do very half-ass movements. And now I'm starting to take it more serious. But I mean, 286, a lot of people think that's more common than what it actually is because you see all these people online lifting. But it's like when I've said this many times. You know, I've seen comments, people talking about it too. Like when you go to Walmart, you will realize how just grossly out of shape everybody is. Some people, oh, go, you're fat phobic, yada, yada, yada. No, like honestly, when you go to Walmart, you go to Target's a little better. But when you go to Walmart, yeah, you're gonna see some big bodies in there. So just realize like how much you are sabotaging yourself by not prioritizing your health. Because the women that are in the gym, the women that are going to look the best long term, you're not even showing up, you're invisible. You know, and when I think about it, like the older women that I've seen that look good, it's always been in the gym. It's always been in the gym. You know, I've never been into cougars. I've never really been into older women. But the only time I've seen older women where it's like, oh yeah, I try to take that down is the gym. That's the only time. On my regular day-to-day life, like to me, most 40, 50-year-old women aren't attractive whatsoever. But I go to the gym, I'm like, damn, you might be talking to some older women in the gym. Next you know, she's 48 years old, she's 50 years old. And she looking better than the women in their 30s. Because she took action and she prioritized her health. She made sure she was eating a healthy diet. And that's another thing, man. When you're looking for a woman long-term, look at her habits. That is a crucial component of finding a long-term woman. Look at her habits, dog. Is she one of these women that is extremely out of shape? She doesn't care about her health. She's doing drugs. She's vaping. Is that the type of woman you want to get with long-term? You think that's going to make a good mother and a good wife? You got to be honest with yourself. A lot of times we think with our lower head instead of thinking with our upper head. And that's very important, man. But I think this is just a prime example of you're invisible to women if you're not in the gym. Yes, I know, Cole, I like big back balloon back wells. They were dating me before I was in the gym. Okay, keep dating your busted back beluga back wells. But somebody gotta love them. Shout out to you. I appreciate your service. But man, that's all I got for y'all today. If y'all want to see more personal story times and more deep dives, make sure to check out the Patreon. It's in the description. But that's all I got. I'll catch y'all boys in the next one.